Hi everyone, and welcome to today's live feed. It's been like a couple weeks, at least I think. And
feels like it's been a while.
it's been a while since we did a live feed. So we thought we'd go on and do a live feed with you all today to kind of give you an update on what's been happening around here and the store and everything in between.
I'm just watching comments just in case you're wondering.
Yeah, she's keeping us in check. Hey, let's see, the last big news, well, yes, I wanted to talk about Patrick a little bit. I don't know if Patrick's going to jump on the live feed or not. Patrick is from Ontario, near, what was the town he's from?
Oh.
It's not near London.
It's not Guelph.
No.
Oh.
Elora. He's from near Elora, Ontario. That's where he's from. Anyway, he is moving back home. He's going to be back closer to his family. And that's great news for him. So as sad as I am to see him leave, it's good news for Patrick to head back home. He is leaving in just like any day now, today or tomorrow, really any day. His family's coming to come pick him up and take him back home. So we probably might have one more appearance of Patrick in a video before he heads back out, but that's where he's going. Let's see. We'll try and answer some questions too today.
Bandana Grandma, I sent you a new package. And this time I put tracking on it, so.
Oh yeah.
That's on its way.
Bandana Grandma, who's on here, also has a YouTube channel and had sent us a package, which was very nice. And Melissa sent her one back, but it never appeared.
No, she won a squidlet.
Oh, right.
And I tried to send it to her and with some other goodies, and it never. Remember I sent her the jam that we made and stuff? Yeah. And it never made it there, so.
Some of our homemade jam from our tree?
Yeah, so that's missing somewhere between here and the States.
Maybe it broke open and it looked like the box was bleeding. That jam was really good though, by the way. We have a cherry tree in the front yard and we try and make jam from it every year, except this year it didn't work out.
No, it was weird. We didn't get any berries, like barely any berries. And every year it's like hanging down to the ground, there's so many berries.
But we really harvested it last year, so maybe it needed some time to recover before we could make jam again.
We took too much.
It could be. I feel like we let a lot of raspberries and apples go to waste this year. We were just really busy. I don't know if you knew, but we've been busy this year. This has been probably one of the busiest years of my life, I'd say.
We were just talking about that. Matthew said that he sent out the package too. Hi, Matthew.
Yeah, it was absolutely nuts. I mean, it's been nonstop crazy since January. I mean,
there's always some something exciting and new happens like every day.
And then when there's not something crazy happening, I'm thinking about what crazy thing can happen next. So somebody's just asking, do you still have the BMW and the Cadillac? Yes, I do. I should park them. I have the BMW, the Cadillac, and the Austin van that I picked up the other day. And the Austin and the BMW take up like no room in the garage. The Cadillac doesn't even fit in the garage. That's how big that car is. Yeah, it's a big car. I should park them all kind of side by side so you can see the size comparison of those things. But the Isetta is a ridiculous clown car, like literally. It's pretty fun though. Once I get it running properly. If you haven't watched the video, I finally got the thing running and I took it for a drive up and down my street. Somebody said, I can't believe you took that on the highway. I did not take it on the highway. I'm not that crazy. Yeah, apparently it will do, apparently they say that car will do highway speed.
I imagine if it were on a highway for you to see like the, like that sound going by.
Yeah, it's, thankfully it's back on the road.
Somebody asked if I'd started the front room makeover yet. Funny story. It's actually, we're trying to upload it as we speak. It was supposed to be up before we did the live. But it kept on crashing, so I wanted to come on and make sure that we had a chance to visit with you guys, do a Q&A, and as soon as this is over, I'm going to try to upload it tonight before too long. So, and somebody also asked what I thought of the fireplace. We're in our living room, actually, it's called a bonus room, the room above our garage that we have upstairs, that Alexander redid, and I really like it. I like it a lot, so.
Yeah,
it was a big thumbs up from me.
We didn't really clarify that we have a finished basement. It's a two-story home, but we have a finished basement. We have a main floor where you walk in off street level like a normal house. That's where Melissa's doing the living room. And the room we're in right now is actually like an upstairs living room. And that's the room that I've been working on. So you can kind of see if you've been following along, you can see this is where we're sitting now. And we are going to be, well, she's starting on hers like she was saying pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Halloween to be over to actually start Finally, Miss Purple Potato, I see you. And yes, I have tried quite a few. She sent me the Colorado cookbook. I actually go through that a lot. Every time that we do menu planning for the week, I go through and try to pick something from it. So I can't think of what we made from there that was delicious. Remember? I think it was some kind of quesadilla, not quesadillas, something like
From the cookbook?
Yeah, remember the Colorado one? Something super delicious.
It's out of tune, I think.
It's good that I like the fireplace. I agree. Are you taking requests?
I'm going to be working on a song
Are you
later.
still listening? Are you still answering questions? So are you?
Yeah, I'm still answering questions.
Have you found any transformers when you go through any of the houses like that?
I have to tune it, guys. It's out of tune. But I am going to be working on a song later today. Trying to do an 80s song.
Do you ever find transformers?
Yeah, like what? Transformers from a house? That'd be a boring thing to find. I know, they're talking about like G1, G2 Transformers, like Optimus Prime and Decepticons and so forth. Look, I know at least 2 words from the Transformers.
He says that, but we used to have quite a few Transformers.
When I was a kid, and I guess I'll answer your question, yes, I do come across them, but not as often as I'd like. Pop culture toys, because everybody's so savvy nowadays with the internet. Hello, Australia. Because everybody's so savvy with the internet nowadays, you really don't find a lot of deals on things. Now, I did get that box of Star Wars toys. That was pretty fun. But we did look up the values of some of the things so I could make a fair offer. But yeah, those things do come around. Truth be told, though, when I was a kid, I was into GoBots. I don't know if you guys remember those or not, but they were, in my opinion, more realistic looking cars that happened to transform into a robot. Maybe they didn't have the same storyline as Transformers, but they were made by Tonka. They were made by Tonka, and they were super cool.
Somebody said you remind them of Mr. Rogers.
I remind myself of Mr. Rogers.
Because you put on your sweater before you started.
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. And then, but he basically came home and switched his cardigan for a completely similar cardigan, just a different color.
That's true.
And then he would have he'd put on his red tennis shoes or whatever, and he'd just he wore the exact same clothes to work, and he gets in his house and he put his indoor house clothes. His Mr. Rogers Relaxing was wearing the exact same clothes but a different color. If you just watch it back, he'll be like, this blue sweater is no good. And he doesn't say it, but then he's like, I'm gonna put on a red one. Now I'm relaxing. Yeah.
So somebody asked how we knew Patrick, and I can see in the comments that everybody is letting them know that he used to be married to my sister, but in our family, once you're family, you're family. So he's still our brother.
Yeah, he is. He was married to Melissa's sister for a time and is no longer married to her. But we've known him really since he was a teenager, right?
Yeah.
I think he was 18 or 19 when he moved out here.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we've known him for a long time. Yeah.
Is that right? He's not that. He's younger than me, but.
Yeah, he was young when he came out.
He's still young going back.
I know. We all used to be young when we came out. Yeah.
What are you going to dress up as for Halloween? Oh, that Dr. Gaga C also said, "Sup, Alex?" I saw that before.
Oh,
And
sup? I can't you can't talk like a cool person wearing a Mr. Rogers sweater. Sup, dudes? I can't do it. Yo, it's so fresh. I can't do it. See, I was like this even in school though, is that I've said it before, but people would come up and try and give me like a cool guy handshake and I'd have no idea what to do. It just...
I think in that instance, you need to make it extra awkward just because you can, like that.
I did, so if I go to shake someone's hand, and this is probably, maybe this is old fashioned or silly, but have you ever missed, like you grab somebody's hand and you accidentally catch like just their fingers?
Yeah.
And you know that it's like, oh no, that was my first impression with that person. I've come to realize now that I'm gonna take I want a mulligan on a handshake. So if I miss or if they miss and it's a weird handshake, I'll be like, hang on, we gotta redo that, and I'll make them redo the handshake because it just feels weird. Or if somebody's ever given you the wet fish where they keep their thumb in and you grab the whole hand, it's like grabbing their paw. It's really unusual. If you ever want to freak somebody out, just keep your thumb tucked in when you go to shake their hand and they'll just grab your whole mitt. It's a wrong feeling.
I feel like that has to happen now.
Yeah.
Are the renters doing good?
The renters have moved in. Oh yeah, okay, Potter's House update. The Potter's House has been rented. I believe the people who rented it actually might watch our YouTube channel. So if
Well,
they're
that would be
watching,
cool.
howdy ho, neighboroni. That house is 3 hours from where we are. Luckily, I have a team of craftsmen out there who can put it all together and help us get work done. So I had a few things done to make it a rent-worthy home. We put appliances in that were new. That was a big start. We had the upstairs room painted. Remember I don't know if everybody watching has seen that series. If you haven't, we bought this house that had been hoarded. It was a whole thing. You should go and watch it.
There's a whole series.
It's like a whole thing. But there was a room upstairs that I left all original because it was original since brand new. And we ended up getting it painted. So I had it all painted white and had the cracks fixed and everything. So it actually looks nice and clean. And what else did I get done? Oh, I had a storm door put on the back door to keep the weather out. So just little things to make it more livable, and put in a newer washer and dryer, 1-year-old washer and dryer. So the update is they moved in a couple days ago. They just had a brand new baby, and it's just really so far wonderful, because that house hadn't had life or guests or company in it since the 1970s, really. So for a family to be in there and enjoying that space for what it was meant for is really special, I think. And it's nice to know that we saved the building, and it's it's living its life again with the family. And I'm sure if Mary was still with us, she'd be happy to know that a family was in the home and using the rooms and living their lives, which is what I think she intended for it to be when she first bought it. So
Yeah.
it's good news.
If somebody sees something on one of our videos and wants to purchase it, what's the best way?
The best way is to email us. Maybe Melissa can put our email in. It's curiosityedmonton@gmail.com. You can email me if you want something. If it's something really big, like I've had people write me from London, and they'll be like, how much for the pinball machine? Like, you really don't want me to mail you a pinball machine to London. That would be ridiculous. And so they're like, yeah, we're interested. And then I look up shipping, and they're like, ooh, that's really expensive. Yeah. I'm like, I told you it's going to be super expensive. So just be reasonable with the sorts of things you might want shipped. But yeah, if you get something mailed from the store right now, it's me. I go to the post office and mail it to you guys. Sean sometimes packs things up for us, but other than that, it's generally me that does the shipping. So we're one person show with support, I guess, right now. And I might have to rethink that, as the store has been really busy. And I guess that'll bring us to how the store is going. If you watch the grand opening of the general store, it wasn't that long ago. This was just a dream.
Yeah.
Really, this was 6 months ago? This is how fast it went. What was it, 6 months ago or so? It was a complete dream that I didn't think was going to become a reality, for us to own a cute little general store and a heritage building and have it renovated. That never even seemed, to me, if you would have asked me that 5-6 years ago, I would have said, yeah, that sounds cool. But it was one of those things that seemed like it would never happen, but then it happened.
Yeah.
And when it happened really fast. So the store has been really good. And somebody is asking, is the sales volume what you expected? It's much busier than our last location. Yeah. Our last store was known for having cool stuff, and what we would have slower traffic, but people would come in and buy really neat things. Oh, thank you very much, Rick. People would walk in the store, they'd go like, hey, this is really cool, and they'd buy like a motorcycle or a pinball machine or a slot machine or something, and off they'd go. So we'd have a few good sales. Not many customers in a day. This store is much different because we still have those same customers coming in. We've developed that client. But now we have like hordes of children. And I mean, like, if you imagine watching the Goonies or watching any like E.T., like all the kids on their bicycles, they just like ride up in front of my store, and they don't even, like, what's with kids? They don't even park their bikes nicely. They just ditch them. Like, you would think that was made up for movies where they're like, okay, now ride your bike up to the general store and just ditch it anywhere you want. That's what they do. In front of the door, all over the sidewalk. It's like, they're just like candy, and they just drop everything like little child zombies and go running through the store. So this has been definitely a big change for us. I am not used to having children because there's a school right across the street. Like, there's a fairly large and nice elementary school right across the street. So 3 o'clock, it is literally like probably what that store was like back in the old days, with kids just rushing it for snacks and candies. It was a pretty happy feeling to know that kids were there again. Thank you so much for Mead Music. Awesome. So the store is doing well, and This coming week, I have to try and figure out what to do because the first little chunk of the store, I have toys and a little bit of candy, but the candy sales are actually going pretty good. Not that I feel almost guilty. Like, so if your parents are watching, or if you're watching, yeah, Hannah, we're thinking about putting a bike rack out front. I have to talk to the city though, because we don't own that boulevard piece that's there. But we have to look at accommodating for the customers. So I might be looking at building a larger assortment of old-fashioned candies and fun things at the front of the shop that, you know, are just like $1 or $2 for kids to come in and get. So
sometimes when you give people your trust as well, I know that you can.
What did somebody ask?
I mean, they said, aren't you worried about sticky fingers? I think sometimes when you give kids, especially your trust, and they know that you expect the best from them, a lot of times they'll give you their best.
Wait, but were they saying like sticky fingers
Yeah,
like stealing,
I know.
or you mean sticky fingers from candy?
Both.
Because yeah, sure, I'm worried about a little bit of both of those things. I think
Yeah.
they're probably thinking sticky, like they're gonna get goo on my store.
I don't think, well, somebody else asked right before that if there was, yeah, that too. I never really thought about if somebody was eating food in the store.
Yeah, and I think, you know, because I have 3 kids and a tiny little dog, nothing phases me anymore. If you're a parent, you know this to be true. Prior to being a parent, if you would have seen somebody changing a diaper, you'd be like, oh, that's so gross. But now there could be like a garbage bag that unfurls in front of my store with all sorts of like pumpkin stuff everywhere. And I'll be like, meh, and just like barehand it back in. Nothing phases you after you've been a parent because you've had to do all the disgusting things that your parents had to do. So I think kids coming through the store, I'm like, I've got 3 kids. So there's 10 kids in the store. That's just like if my kids had their friends. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'm used to them by now. Have I ever owned a coffee shop? No, but technically I managed a Starbucks. When I was a store manager for Target, we had a Starbucks inside, so I had to get my food and safety handling permit. But no, I never actually managed a Starbucks or a coffee shop myself.
These guys are great because they're answering comments for us.
Yeah, you know who does know coffee shops really well? Guess who knows coffee shops who's in our family really well?
Aunt Janice.
It starts with the and ends with the Alyssa.
Oh,
See, Alyssa.
You guys should follow Alyssa, and then you would know, although I'm a terrible aunt.
What I should do is I should convince Alyssa and Peter to move here. She's new to me. She's not that new.
Not new anymore.
I'll still call her new. She's the sparkliest of my nieces and nephews because although she's older, she's like, oh, it's like, where you been? Oh, there you are. So yeah, anyway, but Alyssa works at Starbucks and she's still there working. So if I could convince her to come here, maybe we could open up a coffee shop and Alyssa could run it for us.
Or maybe I could just get her to make me coffee.
Yeah. Where's Hans? Okay, funny story about Hans. Hans lives out in the country near Melissa's mom.
Yeah.
He should tell his own story at some point, but he had like a mobile home on his farm that caught fire while he was out doing something. He hasn't quite rebuilt it yet. And Melissa's mom is really worried about him being cold. And so she might just make sure that he's got a place to be warm while he rebuilds and looks after his place. So,
but he's busy. He's kind of like, he helps everyone there. So right now, before the snow flies, it's actually, I don't know what it's doing
snowing
outside.
right now.
I don't know if it's snowing, hailing.
It's snowing. It's snowing a lot right now.
But we had no snow earlier today. Abigail just said, oh my gosh, that's how.
Yeah, it's like super snowing right now.
So he's trying to get everything done before the snow flies, and hopefully it'll melt off. So that's why he wasn't able to make it to the opening, and he's just super busy right now.
Yeah, he has a lot of odd jobs to do around out in his area there. But if we get the build, and somebody was asking about doing the garage next door. By the way, up until you guys let me know, I had said garage almost my whole life, and decals. And I listen, but garage and decals is what they say in England. We're Canadian. We're supposed to use the English version of the dictionary. So maybe I've been saying it wrong. But I listen, other people in my area, in this town of Edmonton, Alberta, say decals and garage. And it's not just me. No. It's like everybody in this whole city says it. So I've corrected myself to say decals just for you folks and to say garage just so I don't get heckled or heckled. Is it heckled? Not like
I say garage. I think I don't know why.
Garage? I think garage is correct.
I said garage before, but it sounds better for garage. But I will say decals forever.
Yeah.
Everyone's correcting it anyways.
We're going to put decals on the garage.
Yeah.
Or decals on the garage. Maybe if I say it like that,
Decals. I noticed Alex.
it will swirl
saying
from my mouth.
It doesn't even fall properly.
If I do this, do my words seem fancier if I display them like a man twirling a mysterious sphere in his hand? Woo!
Oh, you all missed Heather's comment and donation. Heather! Hold on, wait. Casey, Collins, thank you. Both of you have been inspiring me on home improvement. Thanks. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Alyssa left Starbucks. Heather wrote that. Well, I bet she still knows all the secrets.
Probably. Alyssa left Starbucks?
Yeah, that's what Heather just wrote.
What? Well, I guess they probably don't give a person a month and a half or whatever off to go on vacation.
I feel like we need to make sure that when Heather comes down, we will find her purse and make sure to put all that money back in.
Yeah. Well, we'll take care of it.
She'll know because it'll be Canadian.
Heather, my American sister, when you come to Canada, us Canucks will treat you right. First off, we'll get you a little talk bubble that says A, and we'll tape it to a hat, and you can wear it around. So every time you say something, you'll say A afterwards. They'll just assume you're Canadian. But yeah, you often are she's just the nicest person. I'm lucky that I got her to be my sister. And Heather is on here right now. Somebody's asking if there's a moderator, so maybe we've missed something.
Oh.
Okay, Melissa's moderating right now.
I don't know who's moderator either.
Yeah. But yeah, the garage. This is where I was going with this when I got lost on the pronunciation of garage and garage. That's going to be a spring summer kind of project. I have to map it out. I've already done kind of the first bit of groundwork, and that is basically making sure that I can build on that property. So right now I have my store, and there's a big empty lot next to me which I own, and it's maybe 27 feet by 150 feet. And from what I can gather, as long as I build 4.5 meters back, what's 4.5 meters back? It's like 12 feet or something like that. I don't know. Somebody will math me or correct me. It feels like about 12 feet. You have to build back a bit from the curb. I want to build an old-fashioned garage there that looks like it's been there since the 20s. I do an old-fashioned facade and make it look really cool. And the thoughts are, well, if I have to recess it, you could put picnic tables out front, and maybe we could do a little coffee shop or something really neat in it. There are definite risks in having a business like that. You have waste, you have overhead, you have staff, and you're basically paying for chairs. And if there's nobody in your chairs, you don't have the same kind of turnaround. So we have to really think wisely about that, because it might not be the best decision in the world. Most businesses that go out of business are in fact restaurants. It's one of the most challenging and difficult things to do, because everybody feels like they could open a restaurant, but at the end of the day, very few restaurants make it. The only other thing that's worse, I think, than opening a restaurant is opening a nightclub. Like, the shelf life of a nightclub is, I think, 2 to 3 years.
Here, at least.
No, I think in general, like clubs typically don't last too long because they're fad. Once people grow out of that bar, their client base goes and people find the next thing. So you're constantly having to reinvent yourself. It's very, very expensive.
Heather wrote, "No, you're not, and I am not wearing that for the A hat."
Somebody said, am I selling the Cadillac? I'm not really planning on selling the Cadillac.
You know you're asking, right?
I mean, I own a store, so in theory, if somebody made a good enough offer, I'm sure anything would be for sale, possibly. It's except for our shorebird, which is behind Melissa's head. You can kind of see the little bird next to my radio back there.
It's so funny how defensive I was. He's like, somebody asked for the bird. I'm like, not my bird.
Yeah, so I guess some things aren't for sale.
Somebody said, why do they call a couch a Chesterfield in Canada? I've never called it a Chesterfield. We call it a couch or a sofa, right?
Chesterfield is a Canadian expression. We don't really use it that much. They haven't used
it since
people were old enough to use Chesterfields. My grandparents would have said, in my mind, a Chesterfield specifically has to be one thing. It's kind of like that whitish tan fabric with brown pictures of like wagon wheels and like old barns and houses and stuff. Can you guys imagine what I'm talking about? Like stagecoaches maybe, and it's like a white couch with brown stage. That to me is a Chesterfield, and that's because that's what my grandparents had. So Heather, if you ever wondered what Grandma and Grandpa had, they had a Chesterfield, and it was that really ugly, it was like that Western style fabric that, I don't know, they were super into Western
stuff. Thank you,
stuff.
Leanne. She sent us.
Even up until like Grandpa was in his 80s, and I'm sure he still owned a horse trailer. Regardless of the fact he hadn't owned a horse in like 20 years, he was still going out and looking at horses forever. He loved quarter horses for whatever reason.
Somebody put their name and I still can't find it.
Maybe it's because they were cheap because they only cost a quarter. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Have I ever experienced paranormal activity? I am in fact myself a ghost. I just have not passed away yet. Are there any other questions? Let's see.
I keep seeing people will mention they'll mention somebody's name, and I don't see anything. You know what? If I do miss you, and you are feeling like, oh, he doesn't like the bird. That's all right. As long as you mean the decoration, I'm okay. Not everybody likes the same things. That's why they make. There's a lot of things that I've thought were awful that other people have loved. So somebody else had mentioned for the fireplace that they were surprised that you didn't do a stencil because it wasn't different enough. I'm good, you guys. It was white before, white and boring. It ends up being, I'm looking at it right now. I know you guys can't see it. I imagine in my brain that you're here with me and you can see it.
Well,
but
yeah,
it's pretty amazing. Like, it looks really good compared to our plain white, nothing.
I think it's shocking people that with the renovation I'm doing upstairs here, that I'm being very, I guess, subtle or very simple with what I'm doing. I've said it before a million times at my store. I am not a huge fan of clutter. And you wouldn't know it to go in my store, but it's a store with items for sale, and I'm really trying to create an environment there. But when I'm busy all the time. If you haven't noticed, I'm busy pretty much all the time. This is my downtime right now, and we're talking to you guys. We're busy pretty much all the time. And so when I want to relax, I want to have a simple, clean space with a couple key pieces to keep me happy. I've got my guitars on the wall. I've got a couple of cool movie posters. I love the radio behind me, by the way. The Spartan Bluebird, the Canadian version with the wooden.
Yeah. I'm moving my head.
C'est magnifique. And I can say that because we're bilingual here in Canada. It means I only speak a little bit of French and mostly all English in this part. But I've been encouraging my kids to take French, actually, because if you want to get into politics or government office, it's important to have French as a second language here. But it is, c'est très magnifique, that radio. Yeah, I like to have a nice clean space pretty well.
How cool are the guitar holders?
She thinks they look like zombie hands.
You know, it's the only part of the living room that I'm not a fan of, because now you know where they are compared to me. It looks like somebody's hand coming through the wall. That's what's cool. I think they're awesome in the store. I love you very much.
Okay, well, you're allowed not to like something that I do. That's
it's okay. I don't like it to the point where they're magically going to go missing. Like, I think they're cool enough.
I looked at it. Okay, guys, I'm going to flip this around. I have one guitar down, but I did that. There's one guitar off because I thought it looked like an art installation. I thought it looked like if you were at a gallery and the gallery exhibit was of guitars, I thought that's what it was. So I thought, that's cool. I think it's neat. I think they're sculpted hands holding a guitar.
But that one that's empty is the creepiest one of them all.
What if it was holding flowers?
Handy.
Or what if it was holding a bunny rabbit coming out of a hat? Then it wouldn't be scary. It would just be like this. You'd be like, ta-da!
I don't know. I think they're still cool.
I'll just write ta-da above it. Ta-da! And she'll be like, oh, it's magical. It's not scary at all.
Alex wins this one. You know what the truth is that I like that he was creative with it regardless. So I'm not going to look at it and be like, ugh, every time I'm in here. I see that Alexander was being creative, and it's fun. Creepy, but fun.
Whatever. I think it's cool. And I decided to do the boat above the fireplace. Hang on. I'm going to flip it around. First off, okay, there's the picture that I did over there. We had that at the store for a while.
Yeah.
My guitar wall. And then there's the boat. The plants aren't going to be sitting there forever. Those are just basically up there for now.
That's where you're pointing.
Oh, there we go. So anyway, the fireplace, I don't want to make everybody seasick by doing this. No pun intended there, because I showed you a picture of a ship. But I'm going to get to that fireplace because everybody's like, wow, that was super expensive. They quoted like $8,000. That's because I went to a specialty tile shop, and the only tiles that I liked were from New York City. That's like the Pace Picante guy. New York City! Who gets Pace Picantes from... Okay, I'm advertising for salsa now. But the tiles I wanted were from New York. And the problem was, our dollar is like 75 cents on the dollar US right now. And so then you add in an exchange. So then it goes from being $100 US a square foot to 150 a square foot roughly. And then I look at it and go, okay, well, if I build it all the way up to the ceiling, just doing the little part, the little surround around the fireplace was going to be $4,000. So you double that at least, you're looking at $8,000 for the tile I wanted. But it was beautiful. It was a gradient of blue into white, and it looked like it was kind of almost raining. It was very thin, fine little tiles. It was the coolest thing ever, and it would look like artwork. And someday I will get my fancy fireplace there. But my budget was already blown on the couches I have coming. And yes, I do have the restoration hardware couches coming. So I can't justify spending that much money on a fireplace right now. So for $100 Canadian, or like $75
US. It looks pretty
US.
good. I like it. It has a...
Yeah, it looks good
It looks
now.
good. Somebody said they really want to see the snow. If you could see outside, it's pretty dark outside, so I don't think you can see it. I don't
Yeah.
think they're going to be able to see it.
Oh,
I could see it.
okay, hang on. There's a sleepy Abigail there. I'm gonna flip it around, but
Abigail,
I won't get you,
It's
Abigail.
9:18, so it's bedtime, honey.
Okay, there's the ship. Okay, can you guys see what's happening out here today?
Oh, look at the ground. It's staying on the ground.
I know. I can see the fin of a snowy Cadillac
Oh
right
my
there.
gosh. Hold on, I just want to
Oh.
see. You guys behave while I'm...
This is our first snowfall of the year, by the way.
Well, a bad.
It's
Yeah.
not bad yet. Usually we wake up and it's like...
Yep.
Okay, Jason, it's bedtime. Go brush your teeth. It's time for bed.
All right, we're gonna flip this back around. So there we go. That's the snow. But I'm clipping you back in our little holder here. So
Now you guys know it's not a dress, it's a shirt. But thank you either way.
yeah, there was somebody watched my video of the ice and it was snowing at the same time. And they said they'd never seen snowfall before. I'm sure they would have seen it on TV, because that would be weird if you've never watched like a Charlie Brown Christmas or something like that. But mine does cartoon snow. Maybe I just live in a cartoon world. I'm like, that's real, isn't it? Charlie Brown's real. And by the way, a lot of you guys were saying, some of you were saying, I like when you put the jazz on your videos. And the reason I do that is because I'm very much, if I think of myself in terms of other people, I would say I'm a combination of Mr. Rogers, Bob Ross, and Charlie Brown.
What Charlie Brown added in there?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, the Charlie Brown episodes, you know, where, I don't know, I'd like to think that they're kind of fun and wholesome, and there's little jazz music and it makes you feel comfortable.
But he's like an Eeyore.
Yeah.
The Charlie Brown gives up. Like he's always, right? I mean,
But his friends always pull together to help him out.
yeah, but
It's about community.
you're not Charlie Brown.
No, I guess not.
Somebody said that I should get revenge and put a mannequin in the room on the other side with the hands, the arms stuck in the wall just up to the wrist. So it looks like those are the hands sticking through the wall.
Yeah, somebody's asking where our stereo is set up. Our stereo has entered the 21st century. We have a Bluetooth speaker, we have a Bose speaker, and then our stereo is our phone. You'd think I'd have like an old school hi-fi. In fact, I did. I had a really big record collection at one point, and it sat right by where those guitars are now. And one year we wanted a trip to Hawaii, and the only way to afford it was for me to sell off my entire collection of guitars and record players and everything else. It got us a beautiful memory, and I'm still so, I wouldn't say bitter. I miss them. There's certain, I had a good collection of jazz records, and there was some in there. I'm a big fan of Mose Allison, and there was a lot of records in there that I don't think I'll get back. Like I had original Nick Drake, if you ever listen to Nick Drake. Some of those vinyl were really tough to find, and it took me traveling all around North America to get them. So once they were gone, they were gone. So occasionally I think about bringing one home, but it hasn't really happened yet.
A lot of people are asking what color are the sofas. These are, the new sofas.
The new sofas are still leather. They're brown.
Did you already
but-
tell everybody what kind of couches you were getting?
Yeah. They haven't showed up yet. They haven't seen the main couch. They just saw the side chair.
Oh, I see. Right.
Churchill.
Right. I remember. I saw that video.
Yeah. But yeah, the new couches aren't as red. These ones have very much sort of a burgundy hue. And kind of threw my back out today. So tomorrow I have helpers coming over to help bring the couches down to the basement because the new ones will hopefully be here soon. And then I can put the feather in my cap and basically call this upstairs reno done. And the final video I'll do is going to be I'll do a before video of like, here's what I had to start with. I don't know why I'll talk different in that video. Hey guys, I'm suddenly 12 years old in this video, haha.
Wow.
But I will reflect. And oftentimes I have the reflection harp, do 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 do, and then it goes over to fade into the past, and it's kind of fuzzy, but yet kind of clear. So I'll do a little video about what this room looked like beforehand. Already it's way cleaner.
Oh yeah, it feels a lot bigger. So a lot of people are asking. I did say it in the beginning, but so as soon as our live is over, I'm going to upload the video. The video is already done for my first reno.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
kind of also a mishmash of things that I forgot to put in a video. So you're welcome for that. If you go, I'll give a whole bunch of hearts. If you want to follow along, if it doesn't go through tonight, for some reason it crashed twice, but we wanted to go through the live and I didn't want to take up all of the internet.
Her
just
video
so
will be
that
up tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully by tomorrow.
It'll be up
Tomorrow morning at the very latest.
Tomorrow morning?
Yeah, before I leave for work, because if
Oh.
I upload it, I can just push
Okay.
go live tomorrow morning.
So she'll have her video up tomorrow. Yay. Well, that's good.
That's just
her
the
part
installment
one.
number one.
I mean,
Yeah.
her real part one was the fact that she decided to get motivated and do our laundry room first, and then that got me motivated to think about doing the upstairs. There's always, every house has some kind of spot in it that's been bugging you for a while,
Yeah.
and there's little things that drive me crazy at the house. Like if there's something on the stairs, you know, like somebody put something on the steps that's meant to go up. I always feel like you should take something up or take something down. You should always be trying to improve. If you walk past the problem, you become the problem. And I was looking at this room and kind of sitting in it going, I'm sitting here and yes, we all use this room, but I can either complain about it or I can do something about it. So there we go.
Will my makeover look like a classroom? Oh man, you guys, if my makeover started looking like a classroom, you better make sure somebody comes and helps me.
Melissa's channel is just under her name, Melissa, and then Archbold, last name Archbold. So guys, we are going to have, I think the finale for my upstairs reno should be coming hopefully at the end of this week. It's all dependent on when this furniture arrives and when this furniture we're sitting on goes downstairs. So there's a lot more to do. And then Melissa's starting on hers, and I would definitely help you if you want the help.
Yeah.
Not with it. I mean, you can just not for me to give you ideas, but for you to tell me what you want done.
No, I've got it. You could, I mean, you basically did this room.
Yeah,
So,
but
I mean, I helped with the cleanup of it, but
she's so stubborn.
you already did a room. I'm good.
Okay. Well, I'm here if you need me. But yeah,
Let's see.
really. Okay, we'll answer a couple more questions and we'll
Any
call it a
hits on
night.
the old store?
Yeah, I might be showing the old store to a possible renter tomorrow, but yeah, we'll see what happens with it. We've got a couple people interested in possibly renting it out, which would be better than, I mean, anything is better than it sitting there and me paying for it right now. So yeah, that would be good. Either, you know, we'll hopefully find a buyer for it, but the problem is we moved out first, and then we had like 4 of our neighbors in the same complex. They all moved out too. So now if you want to buy a place in my complex, there's like 4 or 5 places for sale out of maybe 30 or 40. So that's a pretty large number of places that have to sell. If I can find a renter, I think that's gonna be the way to go. We'll have a steady stream of income coming in from the Potter's house and from the rental of our store. That'll help pay those places down. And there's nothing wrong with having equity in extra properties too. So that's pretty good. So we'll see what happens there.
Somebody asked if we celebrate Halloween. I mean, it's kind of different. Like we take the kids out trick-or-treating and stuff, but I don't think that we
don't sacrifice anything.
No, I mean,
Other
and
than
we
maybe
also keep it,
PG-13.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, there's a lot of things that I don't like about Halloween, but then the fun aspect and the innocence of children aspect I do enjoy. So we try to encourage, I want to say good, clean fun.
You know what's funny is that Halloween actually outsells Christmas by quite a bit now. And the reason for that is that Christmas, typically you buy your decorations and then you pack them away and bring the same decorations out every year, once a year. Halloween, people have different themes or different costumes, so you're changing it out all the time. So in terms of marketing, Halloween is a much bigger deal, which is why you see these pop-up Halloween stores all over the place. But it is weird. Granted, it is strange. We don't have a whole bunch of decorations on our. We'll do the jack-o'-lanterns and that, but our neighbors have, like, you know, human body parts and stuff strewn about, and I know it's meant all to be good fun, but it is like you're looking at it going, we haven't evolved much since the Druids. Really, like we're like, man, those people thousands of years ago were crazy. The stuff they believed, and we're like Halloween. If people found like a big pile of plastic, like if a Halloween store got buried and they found it 1,000 years from now, they'd be like, there's like a plastic human arm in here with a chain wrapped around it. Like, what was with these people? So yeah, we haven't evolved as much as we think we have.
It actually freaks me out every time they have like something hanging from the side of their door, and every time I leave my house, I think there's somebody standing there. It freaks me out. It's slowly ripping their light off.
Yeah. Yeah, what happened when Halloween costumes were pretty much just like a pillowcase, or it was like, oh, I'm gonna go as Frankenstein. Now everything has to be like themed.
Yeah.
Sometimes not generally kid appropriate or friendly, but
yeah.
I do have a Halloween costume picked out though.
A lot of people actually were asking. I thought you already showed that on a video.
Yeah, I'm not going as Mr. Rogers, if that's.
Did you show that on a video?
No,
yet?
I have not.
Oh, I almost spoiled it.
Good thing you didn't.
We can't even like edit it. People would have seen it
It'd be live. Yeah, it would have been out of the bag. Yeah, so thank you very much, guys, for watching the update episode. Melissa's video for her part 1 will be coming tomorrow. I will be getting the finale for the upstairs here hopefully this week. And I have an update video I'm going to be doing at the store, as I had, somebody says dress up as hands.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, come on now.
Hold on. Who wrote that?
Somebody said dress up as hands.
Wait, Vinyl 79. Is your name Rob? Is it Rob?
Vinyl 79, I think it's Rob, yeah. He says dress up as hands. Yeah, well, maybe Hans and I'll switch outfits for a day. But Hans wears a Curiosity Inc. t-shirt now.
If you guys make sure to, if on my channel you make sure, and this channel of course, to hit the little notification bell. For some reason, if my video uploads earlier tonight, it'll let you know. Although then you will not sleep. So.
Yeah. Anyway, more adventures coming.
Yes.
I have to tune up that Isetta. Hopefully get that running just in time for winter. And keep doing all the things that we do. So thank you so much for watching, guys.
Thank you, Christine.
And yeah, we'll see you all soon. Have a great night, and bye for now.
Have a good night.
Okay, bye, guys.